Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Did you miss me? Okay, so I thought I'd broken my microphone because I kept dropping it on the hard floor. Don't ask why, don't ask how. And I recorded some videos and then they didn't work, which was very rude. Yeah, I thought that they weren't working. So I ordered a new microphone, which is the one I'm currently using, and I was the Elgato, whatever. And then I was recording and then it stopped working. I don't think it was my microphone that was the problem. I think it was my little USB to USB-C converter because I swapped that out and now it's working. So I spent money on something that I didn't really necessarily need. So that's great and all. Therefore, welcome back to my video whilst I try and recoup my losses. So today's video is actually pretty random because I've decided that I should just... Not me overthinking again. What should I do with my main channel? Should it be pop culture philosophy? Should it be books? Why not all of them? Why not whatever I want? That is the eternal question. Why don't I just ever do what I truly want to do? Maybe it should just be my weekly hyperfixations. However, bit edgy. My hyperfixation this week is Charlie Sheen because I watched the Charlie Sheen documentary. So that's a whole thing that I'm going through right now. Don't ask. Like, do you guys remember when that song about him came out 14 years ago? The one where it's like, I was banging 7-gram rocks. That's how I roll, winning. That has been in my head for like days. I wonder if he ever saw it. I wonder if he ever smoked crack and listened to that song on repeat. That's what I'd do. Anyway, I can't do a video about Charlie Sheen. He's a highly contentious figure. Though, like, it literally is my hyperfixation. What? I don't know. I don't know. It's like when sometimes my hyperfixation is cocaine. So I guess like he is just Coke in human form, so I guess it just makes sense. Anyway, this is a hyperfixation I had the other day. It's a very random thing to talk about, so make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Check out, I am uploading on Facebook at the moment, so check out my Facebook page and follow me there. Though I don't assume many of you use Facebook at all. I'm trying to hit that boomer audience because I really just want old angry people yelling at me in my comment section to make money. I've also got a Ko-fi account, to check that out. I will sort my life out and start doing proper content again, just not today. Also, my bestest friend in the entire world has just created a gaming channel, specifically doing at the moment World of Warcraft challenges. So if you're into that kind of thing, and by God, why wouldn't you be? Go check out his channel. Also, he is my thumbnail editor as well. Also, he designed the book cover for the Prime Minister's Pocket Mistress. Also, just go check his channel out. It's Space Arugula. Want to get him to 1,000 subscribers so you can get monetized and then won't have to have a real job just like me. Bye. Today's video is a bit of a random one, so you're just going to have to bear with me. It's about Pham. Pham, I'm very certain that's how you pronounce Pham, though I'm aware out of my mouth it just sounds like I'm a bit of a road man in it. Like Pham. Pham is a 24-year-old booktuber, bookfluencer, recently turned debut author. If you guys weren't aware, she used to do vlogs. She's married to this Ryan dude who kind of is on a similar trajectory to Mr. Beast. She does a lot of book content, book challenges, reading vlogs, that type of thing. So naturally, I've watched her channel a fair few times. It's pleasant, easy content. And yet, several months ago, she announced that because she's read so much romance novels, not me, about to talk about writing and stuff, but I can't talk it's an established fact that I cannot talk properly, okay? My writing ability is much better than my linguistic ability. That didn't even make sense. My linguistics written down are fine. Verbally, not so good. But she announced that she was going to write her own romance book because she enjoys reading romance so much, yada yada. It makes sense. It's smart from a marketing angle because she's got that built-in booktuber audience. It's very smart, right? So the book that she's been writing, it's called Just Friends. And it's a romance novel. I know, because I've watched enough of her videos over the years, that it's not going to have any spice because she doesn't like spice. That undercuts a lot of your audience, dude, because like women be horny, man. We just want to... What do you think I've been doing? Me not uploading for 2 weeks. I think I've been doing just reading and watching endless. Anyway, I am truly no better than a man. I've really realised this in the past few months. I am just a man. I'm just Phil Mitchell with a wig. Anyway, regardless, Romance genre, no spice, However, what I noted when she was talking about wanting to write her romance book was that her main goal, one of the main reasons she's given, I've not watched all of her videos, but I've watched enough to know this to be, again, an established fact verbatim in her own content, is she really wants to get on the New York Times best-selling authors list, not from merit, because you don't really get there from merit, you get there from sales. And she kept stating that this was a dream of hers because she wants to be amongst all of these other authors that she looks up to and she reads, right? It's okay to have dreams, I'm not saying that. However, and we will get into it, is that the right reason to want to write a book? Anyway, there's actually a lot to get through this, and I'm aware that I just be yapping already. So that is the context. Vlogger turned bookfluencer tries their hand at writing a novel, maybe not for the sake of the craft, but for the sake of recognition and awards, which you can do what you want in this world. I don't really care. I just find some of this interesting. So here's the thing as well. I'm just going to throw this all out there. I'm pretty sure Hayley likes Colleen Hoover. I don't really need to say much more than that. Anyway, so the book called Just Friends went up on Goodreads before it was released. And of course, she announces this book to her audience of millions of followers. It gets flooded, inundated with 5-star reviews from fans who hadn't read it yet because the book wasn't finished. In fact, it's not due to come out until March 2026. This caused the book rating on Goodreads to be artificially inflated, which is quite unfair. I don't think Hayley asked her audience to do this. They just took it upon themselves to do. Actually, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Not against Hayley. You lot. Why don't you flood my books with fake 5-star reviews? I'm joking. I could get banned from saying that, can't I? Like banned from Goodreads. How pathetic would that be? Banned. That'd be like being put in Facebook jail or something. That's pathetic. My dad's always in Facebook jail. That's just the type of guy he is. So it got artificially inflated with 5-star reviews, of which we will go through in a bit. Not only that, though, she got given a publishing deal. In fact, it's on Simon & Schuster's official website because they have given her a publishing deal. Let's go through the blurb quickly. This heartwarming and swoon-worthy second chance romance about childhood friends reconnecting as adults is the highly anticipated debut novel from booktok icon Hayley Pham. Booktok. Blair and Declan were inseparable growing up, best friends who knew each other better than anyone else. But when an impulsive kiss took them from friends to something more, everything changed. Wait, but Hayley's not paying me for this. Right, Hayley, can you PayPal me like 200? 1,000 quid. Everything changed. Just as quickly as their romance started, one moment shattered it all, leaving them with nothing but heartbreak and silence. 4 years later, Blair is back in their coastal hometown of Seabrook to support her mum and care for her great aunt Lottie. To make ends meet, Blair applies to work at a coffee shop, only to discover it's managed by none other than Declan, the boy she loved, the boy she lost, the boy who still makes her heart race. As Blair's path keeps crossing with Declan's, old wounds resurface, secrets are revealed, and sparks reignite. I have heard that secrets are revealed line in like every blurb ever. But could their future ever be free of their past? Told in dual timelines that unravel the magic and pain of first love, Just Friends is a moving romantic story about second chances, the way to dreams, and finding your way back to people who feel like home. Now, a lot of people made fun of this blurb. I don't really see why, to be honest. Oh, it's not very original. Yeah, literally nothing is original, dude. Nothing is original. The Lion King is just Hamlet. The Lion King 2 is just Romeo and Juliet. The Lion King 3 is Laurel and Hardy. I don't know, man. I'm not going to take issue with that. No ideas are original. It's about the execution of the ideas. You know what I keep doing? I keep messing around. Granted, that is a given. I keep messing around. End of fucking sentence. I keep messing around, like, writing out little, like, plots and stuff for romance books. But I don't know why. I don't know why. I think I've just got to this point where I'm like, you bitches are terrible at this. I'm just going to do it for you. But then I've discovered that every like little romance plot that I like to like play around with or think out in my head just turns into a modern horny retelling of The Idiot by Dostoevsky. Like something about my brain really loves lovely Mushkin, Moody Rogozhin, and manic pixie dream girl Nastasia Filippova. Like, if not that, I think I just keep accidentally retelling Twilight, but with an actual love triangle. It turns out I love love triangles. I've discovered a lot about myself this year. Love triangles between werewolves and vampires. Brilliant. Should I start writing romances? They will be proper smut, not like this crap. Anyway, what are we talking about? Hayley. Yes, so her first book, her first debut novel, not even out yet, and she's already got a publishing deal with Simon & Schuster's. This is what I like to see as a form of abstract online nepotism, because if she didn't have an audience, she wouldn't get a publishing deal. And I can say that quite confidently because her ARC reviews were out, and we will go through the reviews in a minute. Her ARC reviews are out, and well, the reviews are in on how the writing actually is. She would not get a publishing deal if she didn't have a large audience. So it's basically a form of online nepotism. At the same time, that's not her fault, because she worked on her YouTube channels and social medias to get that online following in the first place. So it's not her fault someone offered her a book deal. It's not her fault really for taking it, because as a debut author, you would want to take a publishing deal. Like, I'm going to attempt, once I finish my Alizee's Cabinet of Horrors, my political satire, that literally no one is asking for, my anthology, I'm going to try and reach out to the same publishing house that publishes Garth Marenghi's Teratome, etc., Incarcerate, because maybe they could be interested in like my form of nonsense, because they've got Matthew Holness's form of nonsense, maybe, potentially. Like, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna at least pitch, and if they don't, then I'll just self-publish, whatever. But it'll be awesome to get, because it's like mainstream recognition if you can get a publisher house. So of course, and she's a vlogger, so she's the type of YouTuber that's already like more mainstream. What I'm trying to say is, it makes sense that she would take on the publishing deal, because you'd be silly not to. And I'm not going to sit here and be petty and bitchy and like begrudge someone for doing that. No, absolutely not. And on the publisher's side of things, publishing isn't a meritocracy. Publishing prioritizes built-in audiences and safe returns over discovering unknown talented writers. They know she is going to sell, therefore it's an easy win for them. When it comes to the craft though, that sucks, because there are so many undiscovered talented writers out there, and now you can self-publish, but then self-publishing is a massive marketing game. Some of the people that do really well in self-publishing are putting all of their profits back into online marketing. You can't really self-publish without any marketing behind you, because people don't scroll Kindle like you would scroll All Saints. I already showed my tax bracket. I say, being broke. Look, the secret is not when All Saints is on sale, but when the sale is on sale. That's the secret. Get yourself a nice coat. Still expensive, but it's like several £100s off. You don't scroll through Kindle libraries really as you do. Some of you might, but regardless. Do you know what was self-published? I was quite surprised to hear. Silo. The first book is called Wool. I've listened to the entire series. Brilliant. Really, really, really good. But I was quite surprised to hear that was self-published. It's such a good quality. Oh, Alizee, are you implying that people who self-publish aren't of a good quality? Have you seen what I have self-published? Sit down. Basically, is it unfair that a publishing house is going to go for an easy win? Sales-wise, no. Craft-wise, yeah, probably. But also, life isn't fair. This is just, wow, you can tell I've been beaten down by life. I'm like, the fire's gone out of me. Colleen Hoover is so immeasurably popular. I can't force myself to rage anymore, guys. The machine has beaten me. Hayley would have been silly not to take the deal. Good for her. They would have been silly not to offer the deal. I guess good for them. Not so good for all the undiscovered Stephen Kings and Donna Tartts out there, and we'll get into that in a second. Because I guess here's the thing about a influencer who reads a lot of books, then assuming that they can write a book, and we'll get into the arcs in a moment. Writing is a skill set, and I don't know if, to my knowledge, I don't even know if she has like a degree or anything, or like the technical expertise, which is big fucking talk coming from, I don't have the technical expertise. I have done writing courses. I still make a lot of grammatical and like punctuation errors, but I have a editor who is very strict. Well, I call him Dad. My editor is very strict with me. In fact, in one of this recent story that I was writing, he went through it and he was like, I'm only going to point out this mistake once, and I want you to go through the rest of the ebook and see if you can figure out where you've made the same mistake again. But it's good. Otherwise you don't learn and grow. I don't know if Hayley has done any writing courses. I don't know if she took English as a degree. I'm kind of going to assume not, because we'll get into the reviews in a minute. And not to be an arsehole, I'm going to be an arsehole. Guys, I'm a snob. I am elitist when it comes to book. You guys know that. I just said that I've accidentally been retelling a horny version of The Idiot. The Idiot is one of my favourite books of all time. Like, I am a snob. That's why I do those book review videos, to just moan and groan about the state of most modern literature, because it's just shockingly boring and shit. And I think you can have guilty pleasures, right? But I think maybe you can tell a lot about the type of writer someone's going to be. Maybe based upon the type of writing that they like. Or not that they like, that's wrong. The type of writing that they think is good. Because you can like something that's trash, that's fine. Come on, guys, at this point, I do kind of not so secretly like Twilight, right? I do like Twilight. That's why I give it a hard time. Because that's my love language, bullying. You can like things that aren't good, but then what you think is good is a reflection upon what standard you're going to hold yourself, right? So if you're out there thinking Colleen Hoover, not about the guilty pleasure thing, guilty pleasure Colleen Hoover, I don't care, it's your own life. Guilty pleasure Penelope Douglas, though I side-eye you, it's your own life. But if someone's like, oh no, this is objectively good technical writing, then I'm going to kind of be a bit sus as to your own ability to tell a story. And why am I hedging? I'm allowed to do that, right? If I'm an audience member, I'm allowed to be judgmental. Writing is a skill, and you need to put a lot of effort into improving upon the skill. Effort that I've not even been bothering with this year, right? So she got a book deal, not because she has literary promise, not because she could be the next Shakespeare. Though people don't need to be. But she's marketable. She ends up being the next Colleen Hoover. I'm going to spit. So, saying all of that, let's go on to the Goodreads account for Just Friends, because this is the part that I find interesting. It's had 355 ratings on Goodreads. I wonder if some got taken down. I don't know. 24,000 people have marked this on their want to read. Hayley Pham, one book, 5,000 followers. I've got a Goodreads account. Can you guys go follow me over there? It's not fair. Me being a whiny baby. See, that's me utilising like, if you have a built-in audience, it is tomfoolery to not utilize that built-in audience. Look here, I am the tomfool. This might surprise you guys. I don't just sit around watching pornos. All right, most of the time I sit around watching, and when I'm when I'm not, I do other stuff, other little things outside of YouTube, little freelancer gigs, etc., etc. And I keep it separate away from my YouTube because I that's what I prefer. And yet I know that clients would love it if I utilized my built-in audience. I know that like for marketing wise, I know that some other things that I do away from YouTube would be a lot easier if I utilized my own audience for those things. And yet I'm not, because I kind of want to, I don't know, do things on my own merit, even though my channel is my own merit. Do things without, let work stand for itself, I guess. I don't know. Also, like, no fucking company or whatever or person is entitled to my built-in audience. Like, literally fuck off. I should tell these companies that if you want promotion in front of my audience, it'll be $3,000. Thank you very much. Absolutely fucking not. But anyway, let's go through some of the 5 stars first. Okay, this one was in June. I've never read a romance book before, but I'm so excited this gets to be my first one. I can't wait to read this after following your writing journey, Hayley. I know you've worked so incredibly hard on this book and it will be amazing. 5 stars. Have you read it already? You rated it 5 stars. So this is how a book is getting 4 or 5 stars. Liars. You know you're supposed to wait until you read the book to review it. Don't rate a book you didn't read. Ew. Don't rate a book you haven't read yet. It's so funny. Guys, I'm the problem. I'm the drama because I find that shit so funny. Cue the parasocial relationships, making this an immediate bestseller, even though the blurb is a replica of every second chance summer romance in existence. 46 comments on this. Oh, Jesus. Y'all, can we tone down the hate a bit? Like, I completely adore my haters community because I believe they give genuine constructive feedback sometimes and that enhances my experience on Goodreads. But hating on a book that isn't even published yet, I'm not a fan of anything. I'll be honest though, this book isn't appealing to me, blah, blah, blah. Oof, the jealousy, the little girls defending her in the comments. My fave booktuber wrote a book. I know it'll be amazing and I can't wait for its release. We're so proud of you, Hayley. 5 stars. 5 stars, bitch. I can't wait for this shit. Hayley would not like you cursing on her Goodreads. Do you even know her? 5 stars. I'm so excited. Hayley spreads so much positivity into the world through her social media. I can't wait to help support her author career from the first book. I've watched every YouTube video and now I'll get to read every single book. Pre-read, 5 stars. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh freaking yeah. Quote from Hayley Pham on Ryan's channel. I'm gonna cry. Don't be mean. They're young, they're kids. Don't be mean. Big easy. Hayley, I love you so much. I can't wait to support you on your journey to becoming a New York Times bestselling author. I'm so excited to get my hands on this. I already pre-ordered. Can't wait for March next year. I've been following you along your reading journey. I think it's cool this is actually happening, that you made it happen. You're such a huge inspiration to me and so many other aspiring authors out there. I'm already hooked on your story just by reading the description. I can't wait. I know you'll be one of my favorite authors. From all the reader pops, we love you, Hayley. Do you get the picture? 5-star pre-read. I actually cannot wait for this book. I'll be running to the bookstore the second it comes out. I'm literally so excited. I know Hayley cooked so hard. This book will be great. I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous. You know what? Do you know why? Because none of you lot listening right now like me as much as her fans like her. Because of course you don't, because you lot aren't all 15. You're actual adults. Damn it. So most of the 5-star reviews are just about people pre-ordering and being so excited, etc., etc. So you have to start getting to the lower starred reviews to find the arcs. If there is a 5-star review from someone who had an arc copy, they said, 5 stars, absolutely incredible. I saw a lot of negative reviews for this book and can confidently say they don't know what they're talking about, can you? The beginning started slow, but it picked up. I couldn't put it down. Many people saying Declan and Blair had no chemistry, and I beg to differ. I feel the people who say that believe chemistry directly correlates to sex. While their chemistry wasn't in your face, it was so deeply what could have a point there, to be honest, because you know what the state of modern romance is like. To me, it felt hard to miss. Like, I miss when there was subtext, but also I'm British and we don't believe in subtext. We just believe in full text and punching people in the face with text. I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards. I miss the days when a good vampire novel was all about sex without directly being about sex via the feeding and imprinting and whatever. Anyway, what am I talking about? So, yada, yada, yada. I saw people saying she was trying too hard to sound like Emily Henry. I think her writing flowed nicely and while it had big words, didn't feel pretentious. Oh, big words is funny. All the people who believed it didn't sound like her, I'm convinced they aren't really into reading and this is the first book they picked up. They think that since they know her through social media, they know how her author writing voice, is that a thing? Yeah, writing voice is a thing. Should sound. They don't. If I read this book not knowing who the author was, I would still think this is an incredible book. Her writing is her own, and I loved it. I mean, I could also buy that some of the people who want to read this book aren't readers. You know how there's all of those readers who enjoy the aesthetic of reading rather than actually reading, the same ones who, I don't know, when there's too many pages, they just end up reading the dialogue and skipping all the description. Those two. So you have to start going down the stars to get the actual legitimate reviews from ARC readers. So if you go through the 3-star reviews, y'all are just bitter, this was not awful like you all said. Yeah, but 3 stars it's not good. It's average. Who wants to be average? There were some words that were used that hindered the readability for me. Ha, ga, ho, oh gosh, ha, hum. I see. Note, closed door, cancer, dying and death are main themes of this book. Check further content warnings if concerned. I've become a boomer. I watched a loved one die from cancer. And I'm fine, mate. I'm cured. So I don't know what you bitches I'm not even that. My toxic masculinity is coming out. Content warnings indeed. I feel like the 3-star reviews are going to be quite more reflective of, because they're not extreme, they're in the middle. I took several notes reading this, and while the novel wasn't terrible, it wasn't amazing either. What it boiled down to for me is readability and plausibility, both of which made this feel unpolished and two-dimensional. The dialogue often felt stilted and unrealistic, as did some of the plot points. I think that Hayley would have benefited from someone who is not afraid of hurting her feelings to go through the book with her piece by piece and discuss word choices, which totally matter, and the motivation behind some of the ideas and thoughts Blair had. I think this novel is a great start and still should be worked on to bring out the charm and warmth needed to make it all feel real and possible and the story to flow more easily. The humour wasn't super funny and overall things needed to be punched up. I believe Hayley will learn lots of things from writing this book and will hit out the park for her next one. We will see. I think this book will get a lot of hype because Hayley Pham is a popular internet personality, however it's nothing special. The beginning was hard to read because it isn't really a style of writing I personally enjoy. Yada yada. There's lots of telling, not showing. The initial reviews I've seen in this book are not great, but I've read way worse novels than this. That's not a compliment. That's so backhanded. Yeah, it's not dog shit, but the bones are strong, the structure is there, but it definitely needs some strong editing. For a debut, this really surprised me. While the writing is something spectacular, I wanted to continue reading. It was really quick and easy. However, the storyline is overdone. The book was nothing new or unique added to the childhood friend second chance trope. You can tell her goal is to be a New York Times bestseller and not focusing on the actual craft because, as I said, the bones are definitely there, but I wanted it to go deeper. And just for fun, let's go through the 1-star reviews. The writing was middle grade at best. There was no plot. The romance was severely lacking in chemistry and everything else. It felt like reading a wannabe Emily Henry book with a lot of telling instead of showing. The characters are two-dimensional with no substance other than the traumatic things written in to give them character or some semblance of personality. Almost every sentence was stilted. The main female character was insufferable, blaming her bad behavior on grief, not taking responsibility or owning up to her own faults, being selfish at all times. And somehow the writing felt like a self-insertion of the author and her own characteristics. On top of all that, it wasn't even fun. My opinion doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, but if anyone were to ask me, I wouldn't recommend this book. And best believe this got 28 comments of people arguing. It's not even out and you're already hating as if you already read it, which could be possible, but I doubt it since Haley only let a sparse amount of people read it. I got an arc from Net Gallery. Bit harsh for her first book. Plus, it's a dream for her to become an author. Let's support her. I assume that this is a kid, and yeah, I hate your argument and everything you stand for. Bit harsh for her first book. Donna Tartt's first book was The Secret History, so I don't want to fucking hear it. The Secret History is one of the best books I've ever read. Should I do an in-depth review on why I love The Secret History so much on this channel? Because I personally like the theory. I'll be vague, so no real spoilers. I like the theory that it was their own hubris and that the first incident wasn't actually... I won't say any more because it's an amazing book. It's an amazing book. But my theory is not... I mean, hubris is like one of the main themes. It's basically an ancient Greek tragedy being retold in the modern century. But, do you know what? If I do a review on it, I'll talk about what theory I think is the correct one. Now, Donna Tartt did The Secret History. She went to university with Bret Easton Ellis, and I think she was studying English. Harper Lee did To Kill a Mockingbird. So I don't want to hear this, her first book. My first book was Piers Morgan's Vegan Lover, and it was amazing. Point is, not everyone's first book needs to be bad. Like, I don't even really think... Maybe this is my perfectionism showing through. I don't think first drafts need to be dog shit. Sometimes I go on Reddit and I'm on the writing subreddits and people are like, no, your first draft is meant to be like absolute fucking garbage and so shit, and then by the 5th edit it should be at least passable. And I'm like, I don't understand what you guys are writing, because sometimes I write some stuff and yeah, okay, there are issues, but I read through it and I'm like, this is pretty funny, and I give it to my editor. My editor is like, doesn't really need that much editing. Like, why can't you guys just be good the first time round? I genuinely don't think first drafts need to be utter dog shit. If that's your way of doing so, then fine. But maybe it's my ADHD and impatience talking, but I would find it pointless to sit there and have to re-edit every single fucking sentence I write like 10 to 20 times over. Sometimes I feel like some people make stuff up to put other people off doing it. Maybe subconsciously there's less competition. I don't know. I remember there was a cracked.com writer who I really liked, and he came out with a sci-fi book and I bought it, whatever, and then he wrote about his process of writing the sci-fi book, and he was like, okay, so get prepared to do a lot of editing. Every single sentence you write, you're going to have to edit it several times, and you're going to have to research every single sentence to make sure that, it makes sense and it's possible. And it was a fictional book that he wrote, not a non-fiction book. So I remember reading that being like, wow, there's so much... there's so much hard work that goes into writing. There is work, a lot of work that goes into writing, don't get me wrong. But if you're at a point where you're having to edit every single fucking word... I'm sure he was just speaking in hyperbole, but I don't know. I guess I take things too literally sometimes. Anyway, regardless, some first-time authors hit it out the park straight away. So this is her first book. And this Parasocial, because look, we're like, 40 minutes into this video, and I finally got into my point about what the video is. The parasociality of online audiences. This parasocial, performative, faux feminist, let's support her, I guess kind of because girl solidarity. Maybe I'm reaching a little bit too, but there is this idea online of, it's called Be Kind Feminism, in which supporting other women automatically is inherently feminist. That then turns into don't criticize other women publicly, especially if they're young, pretty, or, just trying their best. I'm saying this because you don't really see blokes doing this, do you? You don't really see blokes being like, let's support him, it's his dream, he's just trying his best. And I'm not saying we should be more like men, but I'm not going to sit here and support someone's dream if maybe they've not put a level of effort into the craft. and maybe their dream is just more of a sales target than an actual dream. Why should I support that? Well, just because she's a girl and I'm a girl? Like, that's performative, and I don't want to be fucking performative. I'd rather support women over men. You guys know that, but I'm not going to be out and out performative and pretend. And there's nothing wrong with critique. Critique is how you learn and you get better. And surely, if you want the best for someone, you would want them to improve, right? At the same time, though, you do not have to take criticism from people that you wouldn't take advice from. You don't need to. If it comes from an unfounded or unrespected source, you absolutely don't need to take that criticism. Take it from people that you trust, but then you can be biased towards that, can't you? Regardless, there's also this idea of guilt being this sort of weapon for loyalty. I think maybe feminine fans feel more emotionally responsible for like their favorites having success. So if you're not supporting it, even if it's maybe not very good, you're disloyal, you're jealous. Oh, am I jealous that she got a book deal with Simon & Schuster's? Not really, because it's not my vibe. I'd be jealous if someone came along and wrote political satire or just satire in general that wasn't very good and then got a publishing deal with Garth Marenghi's publishing house. I would be jealous of that. Or envious. Which one? Who knows? See, I'm not that good of a writer. I don't really know the difference between envious and jealousy, even though that's something my editor has written down in one of my books, but I ignore him. But it feels like when women are trying to offer nuanced critique of other women, we get accused of hating successful women or not being happy for other girls or even internalized misogyny, which, sure, why not? It's very parasocial. There's almost this blind loyalty culture. Real fans always uplift. There's like a blindness to it, but I know that that's also an age thing. I know that like older people probably aren't really. Maybe that's not true, is it? Older people, blind loyalty. Older people, America. Forget I said that. And at the same time, young women creators are simultaneously infantilized, but also commodified. Because we'll go through more of the 1-star ones, but I just got annoyed very quickly, so I just wanted to go through this like super quickly. Fans protect them, young women creators, from valid criticism because it's their first time, whilst also being sold their books or makeup lines or fashion drops like they're seasoned CEOs. So it ends up being a strange cognitive dissonance in which Hayley Pham, for this example, for this video, she's just a vulnerable young woman and she's doing her best, okay? Hey, leave her alone. It's her first time. And yet she's also this ambitious woman who has she has a company. I'm pretty sure she has like a clothing line or whatever, who just got an X-figure book deal and is creating a media empire. So which fucking is it? I guess like Emma Chamberlain could fall into this too. It's just a young woman doing her best. But she's got a little like coffee empire. Little was infantilizing. She's got a coffee empire. Oh, not as big as, of course, not as big as Starbucks. That's not what I'm saying. But like, she's a YouTuber and content creator who has a coffee line that is in Walmart's and has a coffee shop in LA now. Like, she's doing good, is my point. I don't think it's fair that people want to be seen as bosses, CEOs, whatever, which is cool, but then expect to be handled with kid gloves, softly handled. Like, Hayley is not a toddler learning to spell for the first time. I am. What am I saying? I love being coddled. I really do. But my form of coddling is just making men do stuff for me. You know, like holding my bags, tying my shoelaces. Even my male friends, just making them do stuff for me. That's my form of coddling. Anyway, and you'll see the people arguing over this comment section in a minute. It's women arguing with other women. So it's women policing the tone of other women because they've dared criticized their fave writing a book. I don't agree with weaponizing kindness to shut down discourse. Like, I criticize a lot of stuff, so I'm sure there's so many people that think I'm just a mean girl. Maybe I am a mean girl. But for example, I criticize Colleen Hoover a lot, right? I feel like a lot of what I say is actually quite reasonable. I'm so sure there'll be a lot of people, well, I am jealous that she's a multimillionaire. I can't lie. I am jealous of that. But there are going to be lots of people who think maybe it's just mean girl behavior and I should be nicer and I should do this and do that. And yeah, I do wonder, would I get the same sort of reaction? Not that I've seen people do that. I just have to assume statistically that I do get that kind of criticism, even if I don't see it because I just stay offline a lot of the time. I wonder if I would get that type of terminology thrown at me if I was a bloke being told don't be as mean. In fact, I know that for a fact, man. There is a fucking, not the point of this video, there is a YouTuber, I'm not going to say who, there is this dude, YouTuber, quite mainstream, like quite popular, way bigger than my channel. I was watching some type of video he was doing. It was like a drama video or drama adjacent. Some of the stuff he was saying, I was sitting there like, I couldn't say that. And yet his comment section, it was just full of people supporting it. And don't get me wrong, this was like a drama adjacent channel. It wasn't like a right winger where you'd expect the comment section to not be pro cancel culture. It wasn't anything political. It was this drama, and generally there's a funny dichotomy between drama audiences, because drama audiences are the type who do like to tone police, because they like to tell people off for ever making one mistake or getting something wrong, and they enjoy the, I don't know, furore of cancelling someone. They enjoy that. So when you do drama content, you have to be so careful to toe the line, because it can so easily turn back on you. So easily. Just takes one slip up or one mistake or one accidental insult or whatever that people don't like, and it will turn back on you, because those types of audiences, they're out for blood and they love it, right? At the same time though, when they criticize people, they do like to take it like low and dirty. But this is besides the point. There was some like there were a lot of basically like body shaming and fat jokes this dude was making. I was reading the comment section and I was like, dude, yeah, he had like some complaints, but this was quite like a mainstream appealing type of channel. I'm trying to skirt around so I don't like say who it is, because I don't want to get bullied. But seriously, the stuff that he was saying, and this was a recent video, this was like a year ago, the stuff that he was saying and like making fun of or whatever, I was like, there's no fucking way if I said those jokes, and they were jokes, but they were body shaming, punching down jokes, right? I'm quite mean, and I was watching it and I was like, this is quite mean. Like, this is quite unnecessary. Well, I was complaining to some girly YouTubers afterwards, and I was like, I don't want to make those kind of jokes, but I'm just saying there is an inherent double standard and a hypocrisy. If me or any of the feminine YouTubers I know made those types of jokes, it would be like a ton of fucking bricks falling down on us. I don't even know why I went off on that tangent. But yeah, female critics are told you're being a mean girl. Male critics, for some reason, we don't require the same level of softness from them, and they don't get tone policed as much. And there's also a very superficial side to this too. The fear of jealousy narratives, in which if you're a girl, negative opinions can easily be dismissed as jealousy or envy. You can just easily be hit with, well, you're mad because she's hotter than you. I'm not saying this about like specifically this instance, but when you are a woman on the internet, you can get hit with that one all the time. I mean, it doesn't work so much on me because I'm clearly 25 and immeasurably beautiful, like classically handsome and charming. So that doesn't fly with me. It doesn't work on me, but it does happen to a lot of other female content creators I know. So this then discourages women from holding each other accountable or offering honest critique, because you might get hit with oh, you're ugly anyway. What I'm trying to say is true support wants someone to be better and shouldn't shy away from honest critique that isn't mean, because you can criticize and not be mean. I don't think I'd be mean to Hayley at all during any of this, right? And that's real feminism, is it not? Me wanting her to do good, not just for financial gain, but for the art of the craft, the art of the deal. If we can't have healthy, honest criticism of discourse, then what are we doing? We're all just members in a weird cult then, aren't we? Someone said, you're better off reading a story about two thesauruses who can't communicate. Ew, 1 star. Someone corrected them, you're. Then they replied, thought it was fair putting a typo in since this book clearly had many. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it. Shut up. This is a review, girl. This is a review site, and you're getting pressed over someone saying something negative about a book. The point of this app is to literally state your opinion. Yeah, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. I hate that because it's so superficial. It's so superficial because if you universalize that maxim, right? If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. The most extreme logical end of that is I can't say anything bad about Hitler. I can't, because I've got nothing nice to say about Hitler, so I can't say anything about Hitler. Yes, I can and will drag Hitler into any video. No, but really, It's a stupid, fucking superficial saying. Get nothing nice to say, don't go out your way to be a massive asshole. I'm not saying that either. But if you universalize that, if you Immanuel Kant it, we just end up not being able to say anything but having any sort of criticism of negative behaviors or if something's like a bit shit or whatever. Grow up. 1 star, not good at all. Get a better editor and go take some writing classes before writing a book you want immediately to get on the New York Times bestseller list. Influencer privilege, insanity. I do think it is a little bit privileged to be. On one hand, of course, you're going to utilize your audience. Why wouldn't you? Says the person who doesn't utilize their audience efficiently. However, to be like, well, I want to be on the New York Times bestseller list just so I can have my name amongst the people that I also like. Not because I'm good or anything, not even maybe because they're good, but just to be a part of a special club that you're not in. I don't know. It's weird. It is quite entitled. It is quite entitled, isn't it? And like to wrap it up as, oh, this has been my dream. Has it? I can't claim to know her dream since childhood, but I know that she's not been a reading influencer for all of her online career. So is it a childhood dream? Or is it like a 6-month-old dream? The same person who said the annoying thing earlier has commented on this one saying, it's upsetting to see a YouTuber who I've supported for a long time become an author and lots of people say it's crap. Yes, we have different opinions, but you know. What a pointless comment, my dude. What a pointless comment. Honestly, like, it's upsetting. That's parasocial. It doesn't really affect your life. Are there YouTubers who I like? No. I guess I'm not affected. Shit, who do I like? Who do I like at the moment? Oh my God. It's embarrassing. Who do I like? The only people I can think of are adult content creators whose names I shan't say. I'm not going to air myself. Okay, let's put that into say one of the adult content creators that I like. Say he put out a book. He put out a book and people were being mean about it because it wasn't very good. But he thought, would I get upset on his... No, I wouldn't, because I'm an adult with real problems. Anyway, right off the bat, there's this feeling that this book was written with a thesaurus opened up to the next screen. Which is weird because this felt like it was written for middle schoolers. I'm going to say it's so obviously written by a religious person. I was actually laughing at how there was never one single, oh my God, it was always gosh or goodness. Bless. That's so Stephanie Meyers of her. And the FMC went to Pepperdine, which is a choice. Don't know what that is. There are a couple instances of random characters appearing in places, such as a bracket at the beginning of a paragraph. I won't judge that as this is just an arc and hopefully will be edited a couple more times before publishing. I felt like we were only being told things. We aren't trusted to pick up on things. We must be told what every little interaction is meant to convey. I prefer a book where I feel what and notice what the character does, not being told what I'm supposed to be feeling or noticing. This is also very much a story about grief. Honestly, it could use with a trigger warning. It's almost literary fiction that way, which I don't mind. Honestly, I think I would have liked it more if it was lit fiction because the grief and emotions in it is very much something I could relate to. I genuinely enjoyed that aspect, just something to note. Absolutely not. Sorry, I'm such a boomer. I'm such a boomer now. I'm like, oh, people don't like reading about nasty things. Well, I've seen nasty things and I'm not bothered. Me, categorically unbothered. Yeah, right. I will say that. Do you know what I'm reading for book club at the moment? I'm reading Gillian Flynn's Dark Places. It is messed up. It is great. It's great. Because what was the last book I read for my book club? The Passengers, which I just thought was a bit crap, to be honest. It was so sometimes that I cannot eloquently articulate what I'm about to say, so you're just going to have to grit your teeth and deal with me. Sometimes some books feel like they were written to sound like what I can't explain it, man. I can't explain it. But Passengers was one that it's about the people in the cars and the self-driving cars is that one. It felt like someone was emulating how they think books should be written. I can't explain it. I cannot explain it. Regardless, Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I'm halfway through. Brilliant. Love it. Great. The main character is miserable. I respect that. 1 star. I wanted to like it so bad because an old influencer I used to watch all the time write it, but it just felt short and was not at all what it needed to be. Like, right idea, hella wrong execution. I don't know, sucks, didn't like it because, you know, all influencer books are supposed to be good, right? What do you mean? Is that sarcasm? I'm going to take that as sarcasm. I've gone through enough influencer books on this channel to know that they are not good. Apart from mine, Piers Morgan's Vegan Lover, which I might write a sequel to once I get my act together and stop sleeping in all of the time. This book was painful to get through. The main character was beyond irritating, immature, selfish, and impossible to root for. Every scene with her felt like nails on a chalkboard. It killed any enjoyment I might have had. The breakup between Declan and Blair in high school was absurd and completely unbelievable. And Declan's mum hiding the letter was one of the dumbest, most forced plot twists I'd ever read. None of it made sense, and instead of creating drama, it just made the entire story feel sloppy and ridiculous. Do you know what's a good plot twist recently? I watched Peacemaker season 1 and 2 recently, because I've turned babyface on John Cena. I fucking love John Cena now. Don't know what's happened. I love him. Ever since watching Raw live in London and just seeing him sparked out by Cody Rhodes. Anyway, Peacemaker, great. I don't know what James Gunn is doing at the moment, but it's way better than any of that Marvel muck. Peacemaker season 2, I think it's like episode 5 or 6, where they have the twist. I didn't see it coming because I wasn't paying attention that much. I did not see that coming. I was like, damn. That was great. Of course, people on Reddit were just bitching about the final episode. Get a life, losers. Get a life, you dorks, you nerds. That was a great plot twist. I loved that. Anyway, and if anyone wants to know, yes, my favourite characters are Eagly and Vigilante. Also, John Cena is such a himbo. I kind of love him. Anyway, so to recap, how has this video been so long? What is wrong with me? Hayley's Goodreads got flooded with 5-star reviews that I'm very sure she didn't ask her audience to do in the first place. Just very hyper. Yeah, because that's also, you know, it's a double-edged sword though, because saying all that stuff about women criticizing women who criticize, no one's going to ride harder for you than a female-driven audience. Like, Matt Rife was so terminally stupid for spitting back in the face of the audience that popularized him in the first place. He is so fucking dumb for that. And now I think his live shows have been suffering and he's not been selling out. Funny, huh? By the way, if you're doing a comedy show, right, Ricky Gervais, and you're saying jokes and you're getting people nodding and agreeing with you instead of laughing, it's no longer a comedy show. You're just on a soapbox. So, Matt Rife, middle-aged men who are like, yeah, let's hit our girlfriends. Wait, sorry, what? You were joking? You were joking about that? Oh, I thought it was being serious. Middle-aged men who, they aren't gonna get tickets to shows and buy your merch and stuff. Women are. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, really. I love having women support my channel. I love it. I don't weird that like a fifth of the people watching this video right now are men. How weird's that? Though, I'll tell you what, something funny analytically. My Bonnie Blue moral philosophy video, I noticed that like my female to male demographics were skewed. And it's because that video, it had like largely, it was like 80% men watched that. I was like, ooh, ew, go away. You already clicked it because Bonnie Blue was in the Bonnie Blue and philosophy. Ooh, I'm joking. Marketing wise, career wise, it's better to have women on your side. And yet all I'm saying is I don't think we should perform performative support. I don't think we should fall into that trap of being like, I cannot criticize someone because she's also a woman. Sorry. It's just superficial and it doesn't really help anyone. Oh, saying that though, should I just do a whole video about feminism, whatever? Because Sydney fucking Sweeney recently been like, it was mainly women like being mean to me. I found that funny to note. Really? You were also dumb. If there were any women listening to this being like, I disagree with everything Alizee is saying, me just calling Sydney Sweeney another woman dumb, that's really solidified their hatred for me now. You are so dumb. Because there were pictures of her not too long, like a few months ago. She was walking around makeup free. Oh my God. Did the men on the internet roast her and rinse her? And by the way, guys, she looked normal. She was just makeup free. She just looked normal. Right. But the men on the internet were being so, because, you know, they mainly see this performative version of Sydney Sweeney for the male gaze, right? So when they saw her without makeup, or there was also, wasn't there, she was acting like as a boxer or something. There was like a first look at her acting as a boxer where she's not wearing makeup and she's not looking glamorous and stuff, right? And again, men, holy shit. The things that they were saying about her, and it's like, but those are the people that you want to perform for, and you're criticizing women, being like, oh, women are the ones giving me grief. I don't know what reality you're living in, dude. We give grief when it's like you're catering solely for the male gaze. Sure, that's a different conversation entirely. But like the people that were roasting you for how you looked I saw men doing it. Thousands of men. So shut up, you're also so dumb. But anyway, the Goodreads rating was artificially inflated, which can mislead potential readers. I don't really care about that, but it skews the algorithm. Then the arc's coming out, the 1-star reviews start flooding in. After the 5-star reviews, the 1-star review is the biggest percentage on Goodreads. And the consensus amongst the one-starers seems to be that the book is underdeveloped, it's cliched, it's amateur, etc. So then you've got her own fan base, as I've demonstrated to you, retaliating in comments, being like, it's her first book, be nice to her, yada yada. And I'm like, dude, it being her first book is not an excuse for it being underdeveloped or bad. Especially as like not being funny. I mean, she is good at what she does. That's why she has a lot of followers, because she keeps up with her regular content, clearly treats it as like a job. However, she's going to have a lot more time than the average 9-to-5er. And I can say that because I'm a YouTuber. I'm a very lazy YouTuber though. I have nothing but free time. But she's going to have a lot more time to develop her craft. More time than, I don't know, Stephen King when he was working one job as an English teacher, thus honing his craft actually, because he was an English teacher after getting his degree. And the other job working, I believe, in a steel mill factory where people were like often losing limbs and like fingers and stuff. And then he would somehow, during working 2 jobs whilst living in a trailer and caring for 2 kids with his wife, he pieced together Carrie, you know. So Hayley Pham has a lot more time on her hands than someone who traditionally can't dedicate a lot of time to writing. Jesus Christ, what's my fucking excuse? I don't know. Should people be rewarded for trying? That's something we do with kids, innit? Not adults. I mean, even Twilight was a debut novel, wasn't it? By Stephanie Meyer. Let's not get into it. But it's the parasocial element of this that I find particularly fascinating, because she didn't tell anyone to get offended on her behalf, I'm pretty sure. She didn't tell anyone to defend her honor. And I believe it's younger fans, they are confusing supporting her with praising her, blindly giving her 5-star reviews even though they never read the book yet. Any critique being treated like bullying or cyberbullying. Let her dream. Like it's not bullying, dude. Ultimately, when you shield your favorite creators from criticism, they cannot grow. They're insulated from the critique, therefore not developing and then the influencers that don't develop as people, guess what fucking happens? People then criticize them for never developing as people, because damn, it's kind of a bit like, oh yes, I'll bring Tana Mojo into anything. It's pretty like Tana Mojo really, because she has been criticized heavily, don't get me wrong, but she's always had a very strong fan base that stand by her thick and thin, right? And yet I've seen less of that in recent years, even as she's attempting to rebrand herself as like don't get into it. She calls herself sober, but it's like, you're alcohol free, dude, because I'm not even California sober. She does like Xanax and stuff. A little bit's prescription. Not the type that she's getting. Why do I even know this? God, I'm the parasocial one. I'm the problem. She's still doing drugs. Like, I'm not tone policing someone else's sobriety, but it's like, that's not what it means really, is it? But anyway, she's been like trying to rebrand herself as like this, but it's kind of a bit of a superficial rebranding, because she's still Tana Mojo at the end of the day. But she believes that her core fans have told her when she's being an arsehole, and it's not true, because I've watched her career from afar for a long time, right? Like, her core fans have always found ways of infantilizing her by justifying her behaviors. But now a lot of them, I think, are growing up themselves, having to work a job, having to work 2 jobs, being post-university or post-degree or post-college or whatever, right? Being in the real world and realizing just how entitled she is as an influencer, as a person, and not having the time for it anymore. So it's this funny thing of like, if you insulate your favorite from criticism, you're going to get to a point where you grow up one day and you're like, actually, this person is like with an entitled XYZ. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. Has there been another time in history in which we could see something like the life cycle of a parasocial fan? But in terms of not being an influencer, in terms of writing and the craft of writing, if you're creating a safe bubble for someone, when isn't art meant to be a bit vulnerable? I guess is the right word. Isn't art meant to be a little bit vulnerable? Regardless, if you create the safe bubble of mediocrity, then how is one ever going to improve? Like, the book is going to sell regardless, but how is she going to improve if people aren't honest? Now, let's get into the online nepotism. Abstract online nepotism, yeah? Clout nepotism. Basically, if you're famous, you don't need to prove your talent, just your ability to sell and be marketable. It's interesting. It's interesting because Stephen King, The Long Walk just came out in cinemas, and I'm pretty sure, no, I'm very sure that, no, I know actually, because I look at my 3 hour long video about him using tits all the time. That was written under his Bachman name. He wrote a series of books under the pseudonym Richard Bachman because he wanted to see if he could still reach a certain level of success without having the King name behind him. He wanted to challenge himself. I think he still sold all right under Bachman, but when it inevitably got leaked that he was Richard Bachman, I mean, I think Thinner, that's a Bachman book. He fucking references himself in it. He's like the guy's got a curse on him and he's losing weight and whatever, and he's talking to this other guy, being like, oh, something creepy's going on, and this dude is like, you're sounding like one of them there Stephen King books. Like Good Hiding King. But yeah, it got revealed at some point that he was Stephen King in disguise, and then the Bachman books just like went so far up. Though, to be honest, I don't feel like maybe Stephen King is a good sort of barometer for that. I feel like the guy writes so much, maybe success was inevitable anyway. It's a bit like, what's his name? Hubbard. Ron Hubbard? Ron L. Hubbard? The Scientology bloke. You know, he wrote like 1,000 sci-fi books. He wasn't successful in the sci-fi books, but then he did go on to found Scientology. So that's the most I'm going to say about that, because Scientology scares me. But it's just funny because if you look at Bachman and the pseudonyms and stuff, influencers do the opposite of this. King used his pen name to see if he could succeed without his name attached, but influencers do the opposite. They lead with their name and brand recognition and monetize the audience first. And of course, why wouldn't they? It's got to be a massive perk of the job. Not that I would fucking know. I think also maybe someone needs to kindly tell Hayley, kindly and softly, that bestseller status does not mean best written. It's a sales chart that is so based on BookTok and influencers and Colleen fucking Hoover that doesn't mean anything. Yes, it means money in your account if you can sell, and that's good and stuff. But I don't know, if you're, God, am I a purist? Should you write because you want to write? Not because you want the sales. Doesn't matter. Is there room for all of us? With self-publishing, there is now. And yet that just means that the market is so oversaturated, it's very difficult to break through in self-publishing. So I'm not trying to gatekeep the New York Times best-selling. If I was a New York Times best-selling author, then you could possibly say that I was gatekeeping, but I'm not. I just don't think we should pretend that being a best-selling author means you are of literary note. Bully by Penelope Douglas sold a fuck lot, and it's trash. It's absolute trash. It is objectively bad. Bad writing, bad for my brain, hate. So it just makes me think, how many Donna Tartts are out there right now writing in silence, not getting publishing deals? But that's not Hayley's fault. And yet, it's sad, isn't it? God, she's so good. But she did take 10 years to write The Secret History. Maybe if I took 10 years to write anything, it would be that good. Yeah, my attention span will not allow it. I don't know, I guess to end this, like, this I thought this video was going to be 20 minutes long. I don't know what's happened. I don't know why the fuck this has taken so long. This is ridiculous. I'm not mad at Hayley. Why would I be? Like, literally, why would I be? I don't know her. I don't, like, she's not done anything wrong. She sat there and she wrote a book, and she's been dealt a very good hand, and she's taking that hand. Mainstream success is fleeting. So if she didn't take a mainstream publishing deal, she would be remiss. It would be stupid. It would be a bad financial and career decision for someone whose career is being an online content creator, of which, like, this career is very fleeting as well. So you kind of do have to take what is given to you. She's playing the game. We can't blame her for that. Well, you can if you want. I don't. Why would I? It's got nothing to do with me. It doesn't make me a better or worse writer to blame her for taking a publishing deal. So it's largely irrelevant. The thing that annoys me more is the parasocial nature of it. The how dare you criticize, she has a dream that she's had for... Isn't that like an Always Sunny thing? Like, this is a dream that I've had for all of today. That's so meme everything. But I think part of the problem is publishing houses who want guaranteed profits over, I don't know, potential fucking Tarts, Kings, Shakespeare's. What a weird house of cards that is. BookTok, that I've talked for too long, but BookTok, that's another problem. Popularizing shite all the time. Algorithms that only care about virality rather than value. And of course, the parasocial fans who drown the real critique in hashtag be kind. Never. Is this BookTok's fault? Did BookTok kill the book industry? Oh, more young people are... I don't even know if more young people are reading more than ever. That just sounds good, doesn't it? More young people are reading more than ever, but at what cost? Oh, people always say that about Colleen Hoover too. Oh, at least it gets people reading. Bullshit. I'd rather they didn't read than read Colleen Hoover. I said it. I've said that so many times in my videos. I'd rather people didn't read it all than read Penelope Douglas or Colleen Hoover. I said it, and I'm standing by that forever. Anyway, good God, how have I been talking for 90 minutes straight? This is ridiculous. That's all for today's video. This was meant to be a 20-minute long video. Fucking hell. That's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Hey, not that I expect to get an ARC review, but when Hayley's book comes out, No, I won't review it. I won't review it. It's not going to be my cup of tea. It's not going to be for me. And she seems like a nice person. Does that go against everything that I just said in this video? I'm not going to fake gas her up. But my brand of misery should probably stay away from her brand of sunshine. So she's showing my age here, but she's 24. I'm not gonna review her book and be mean about it. Not when the real enemies are out there. Coho, I'm coming for you again. That's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Make sure that you subscribe. I will be making real content again soon once I sort out my sleep schedule. So I guess 2 years time. Check out my other channels, my Facebook page, my ASMR channel. I upload on there to help you get to sleep. I have a Ko-fi page if anyone wants to, I don't know, get me coffees. And also I have books. Piers Morgan's Vegan Lover. And the other one, what was that called? The Prime Minister's Porky Mistress. And I might actually this year finish off some of the other things that I've been threatening to finish off. So that's all I'll say about that so far. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and make sure you like and subscribe. I make new videos clearly whenever I feel like it. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, all those places, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.